What's up, cuties? It's your favorite market analyst, Max Pitts, and the S&P 500 just erased all of its 2025 losses today. And everyone suddenly thinks we're in a bull market again. Let's pop the champagne, maybe? Did inflation actually cool off, though? Did big tech finally break gravity? Or is Wall Street just high on hopium and galaxy gas again? Today, we're breaking it all down: market madness, CPI prints, AI euphoria, and the insane options flow that says something big is coming. If you've ever wondered whether the whales know something you don't, this video's exactly where you should be. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's decode the market moves that actually have an effect. So let's go ahead and start off like we do every episode with our scoreboard. The S&P 500 saw 0.7% gain today. 2025 losses, call that thing a baby's butt because they were wiped out, just like your gym motivation by February 2. The NASDAQ saw a 1.8% gain. Tech is on the heater again. Nvidia and Tesla are basically powerlifting the index. The Dow Jones is down 0.6%. United Healthcare basically said, hold my beer, and dragged down the whole index with it. So hats off to them. The S&P just had its fastest rebound from a 15% drawdown since 1982. Reagan was president, perms were in, and inflation was still a problem back then too. So I guess this is like a full circle moment is what we could call it. But let's go ahead and talk about some of our big tech breakouts. Nvidia, we saw a 5.6% gain on the day. Over $3 trillion in market cap. This is no longer a chip company anymore. They're an economic indicator. Tesla saw a 5% gain. They're still riding the vibes of a trade deal like it's 2019. It looks like EVs are back, even though people don't really want them. Meta is up 3%. Zuck's not talking about the metaverse, but investors are loving the momentum anyways. And Coin with a whopping 24%. The SEC once tried to cancel Coinbase. Now it's getting added to the S&P 500. Talk about the glow up of the year. It's like that fat girl who comes back over summer and is now hot. Basically, the Magnificent Seven are now the market's Avengers, and they're assembling right as inflation cools and tariffs finally begin to chill. Now let's go ahead and talk about the CPI and the Fed, because who doesn't love some inflation talk, right? I think that's what I heard. That's what the ladies love, because Powell is definitely watching this video from his bunker with his hot wife. CPI came in up 2.3% year over year. That's the lowest we've had since 2021. However, core CPI is at plus 2.8%, which means your avocado toast still costs too much, but maybe your rent doesn't. Markets are now betting the rate cut comes in September, not June. Thank God, because I don't think I could do another summer of the Fed coming out and having buyer's remorse. That gives Powell time to do, well, nothing, basically, which is his favorite move lately, by the way. That whole wait and see deal that he's pushing. Markets are now betting that rate cuts come in September, not June again. So what happens here? Well, you can't say Jerome Powell without saying Donald Trump, because he jumped on Truth Social with the hot take of the week. The Fed must lower the rate. Just let it all happen. Thanks, Mr. President. We'll take it under advisement. Now, we also had the Dow dragged down by UNH. While tech was high-fiving itself, United Health was busy getting obliterated, down 17.8% today. The CEO bounced, guidance got pulled, and the healthcare sector caught a case of contagious panic. CVS, HUM, and others followed. So if you're wondering why the Dow didn't join the party, it was stuck in the ER. I get it. Anyways, let's talk Palantir here, because that's another sexy thing we can talk about. Defense and deals, baby. Up 9% thanks to the $142 billion arms deal with Saudi Arabia. That's a B with a billion, and somehow we're still calling them a software company. Beyond me. We saw BA up 2.5%. China lifted restrictions and ordered 30 new jets. The backlog's absolutely booming right now. So while tech's chasing AI clout, Palantir is blending AI plus war. That's like Skynet with a business model. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of our biggest options orders from today using our favorite tool, Investor Central Club, where we still do have that code 125, which will be expiring at the end of this week, by the way. So hop on that, get your first month for $25. We only have a couple slots open, but don't worry, I may have something better even coming next month or this weekend. Who knows? You'll have to wait and see. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk business. Nvidia, we saw 85 million in options flow with 9 golden sweeps, including a $14.5 million bet on the $150 calls for next year. Tesla, we saw 4.5 million just absolutely nuts dropped on 420 calls. Yeah, seriously, 420. Burn it. This is either genius or a Reddit troll with deep pockets. Google, we saw 10 million on long dated 160 calls, classic boomer growth play with millennial optimism. Meta, we saw 4.3 million on the $560 puts, while the rest of tech flies. Someone is quietly betting on Meta to nosedive. iBit, we saw 10,000 put spot. Yes. So that was not a misspeak or whatever. Someone either really hates Bitcoin or they know something we don't. And some unusual activity we saw Coin, $360 calls, Mr. $465 calls. Momentum money is chasing that crypto pump. Now let's go full tinfoil hat here for a second with some dark pool orders. So our dark pools, again, this is where the big boys let their nuts hang when their wives aren't in town, you know? But we had Microsoft leading the charge today in our dark pools. We had Microsoft leading dark pools, 492 million dropped. We also had QQQ with 413 million. We had Palantir with 228 million, and we had Nvidia with 260 million. Now, institutions are moving size and silence. It's absolutely not retail's cousin. That's Whale City, baby. Now, let's go ahead and land this plane so you guys can go enjoy your evenings. CPI cools equals Fed breathes, which equals rate cut odds absolutely shift. Tech rips, which equals to AI hype meets soft macro, which equals momentum building. We have options flow is loud, aggressive, and high conviction. Dark pool whales are not sleeping, but don't get it twisted. This was a CPI relief rally, not a green light to YOLO your entire portfolio into Tesla calls. Stay nimble, ride the wave, but don't marry it, you know? And remember, when Wall Street's smiling too hard, someone's absolutely about to get wrecked. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great night. Oh, and by the way, smash that like button if you learned something. Drop a comment with what you're watching this week. Nvidia, Palantir, iBit, rug pull incoming. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more takes that cut through the noise, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay cynical. Peace.